Have you ever wondered how business really know their financial health? Imagine you're running a shop, you have cash in your register, some stock in your shelves, and loan from a bank. And now, of course, the money you've invested in yourself. But how do you put all of this together to see the full picture? A balance sheet is one of the most important financial statements. Think of it like a photograph. It captures the company's financial position at one specific point in time. It tells you three key things: what the company owns, what it owes, and what belongs to the owners. In accounting terms, we call them assets, liabilities, and equity. And here's the golden rule: the balance sheet must always balance assets, will always be equal to liabilities plus the equity. This simple equation is the foundation of financial accounting, and by the end of this session, you will not only understand what balance sheet is, but you will be able to read one and with confidence. So let's dive in and break down the balance sheet step by step. But before that, here's a quick quiz to get you thinking. Imagine your shop owes goods worth 50,000 and now you owe the bank 20,000. How much really belongs to you, the owner? Is it 20,000? 30,000, 50,000 or 70,000? Do let us know your answer in the comment section below. If you are interested in more such kind of content, do not forget to hit the like button and do subscribe. So let's get started. Just a quick information: if you are passionate about advancing your business career and acquiring a globally recognized credential, you're in the right place. Simplilearn, in collaboration with IIM Indore, presents the Executive Certificate Program in General Management. This prestigious program, delivered by one of the India's top business schools, offering cutting-edge curriculum focused on the most critical aspects of modern management, including business analytics, AI, and design thinking. You will gain access to high-impact learning experience, including a 3-day campus immersion at IIM Indore, where you will network with fellow professionals and IIM faculty. Over the course of the 6 months live online interactive program, you will tackle real business problems through a faculty-mentored capstone projects, enhancing your leadership skills and strategical thinking. The program is designed for professionals with 2+ years of experience and tailored to equip you with knowledge and skills needed for senior managemental roles. Upon completion, you will not only earn an executive certificate from IIM Indore, but you will also gain executive educational alumni status, unlocking access to exclusive network of leaders. So hurry up and enroll now. Find the course in the description box below and in the pinned comments. Let's get started. When we think about a business or even our personal finances, there are 3 big questions that we need to answer. First is, what do I owe? That's everything we have in our possessions, also known as assets. Second is, what do I owe? These are obligations or debts that we are responsible for paying back, which we call it liabilities. And finally, what really is mine? That's the leftover portion after paying what we owe. This represents equity or net worth. These 3 questions form the foundation of balance sheet. A balance sheet is often described as a snapshot of a company's financial position at one point in time. What this means is that on a particular date, like the end of the month or a quarter or year, the balance sheet tells us exactly where the business stands financially. It records everything from the company owns, such as cash, property, or equipment, and even compares it with everything in the company owes, like loans or unpaid bills. The difference between the two is what actually belongs to the owners, which we call it equity. So in just one page, the balance sheet brings together the big picture: how strong your company's finances are, how much debt is it carrying, and how much value is left over with the owners. This is why the balance sheet is one of the most important financial statements for managers, investors, and lenders. The balance sheet is built on what we call the golden equation, which is assets is equal to liabilities plus equity. This equation is always has to balance, and that's why it's called balance sheet. On one side, we have the assets, which represents everything the business owes. On the other side, we have liabilities and equity. Liabilities are the debts and obligations, the amount that the business owes to others. Equity is the owner's share, or what's left over in the owner's hand after paying all the debts. The idea is that everything a business owns has to be funded somehow, either by borrowing money, which creates liabilities, or by the owners investing their own money, which belongs to equity. If we keep this golden equation in mind, it becomes much easier to understand how every part of the balance sheet fits together. When we ask the question, what does the company owe? The answer is its assets. Assets are simple resources that belongs to company and can be used to generate value. In this slide, we are looking at the current assets, which are items that can quickly converted into cash within a year. Examples include cash itself, which is most liquid form of assets, inventory, which represents the goods the company has in stocks to sell, and even receivables, which are amounts owned by customers for products or services which are already provided. These current assets are very important because they help the business manage its short-term needs and keep daily operations running smoothly. In addition to the assets, the company also owns something called as non-current assets. These are resources that business will use for a long period of time, usually more than a year, or they help company operate and grow over a long term. Examples include property like land and building owned by the business, equipment such as machinery or technology that is used in production, and even intangible assets like patents which give a company legal rights or advantages. Unlike current assets, these are items that are not meant to be sold quickly, but instead they provide lasting value and support the company's ability to generate income of many years into future. After looking at what the company owes, the next big question is, what does the company owe? These are called liabilities, which represent the debts and obligation a business has to settle in future. Liabilities are divided into two groups. The first one is called current liability, which are short-term obligations that must be paid within a year. Examples include everyday bills, short-term loans. The second group is non-current liabilities, which are longer-term debts that stretch beyond a year. These include bank loans, which may take several years to repay, and bonds which are borrowed. Liabilities are important because they show how much the company's assets are funded by borrowing, and they remind us that not everything the company owns is free and clear. It often comes with obligations attached. Once we take into account what the company owes and what it owes, what remains is what actually belongs to the owners, and that is called equity. Equity represents the owner's claim in the business after all liabilities have been paid off. In other words, if the company were to sell all of its assets and settle all the debts, whatever is left would be the owner's. Equity is made up of things like the owner's capital, which is money originally invested into the business, retained earnings, which are profitable, that have been kept in the company instead of being paid out, and share capital, which represents money raised by issuing shares to investors. Equity is important because it shows the true value of the company that belongs to the owners, and it completes the balance sheet equation of assets is equal to liabilities plus equity. Now that we have seen what balance sheet contains, it's important to ask, why does it matter? First, the balance sheet shows the stability the company by revealing how financially strong it really is. It tells us whether the business has enough assets to cover its debts and continue running smoothly. Second is it helps decision making. Managers use business sheets to plan for growth, manage resources, and make smarter financial choices. And third, it shows companies' repayment ability. Lenders and investors always look at the balance sheet to see if a business will be able to pay back loans on time. In short, the balance sheet is not just a financial statement, it's a powerful tool that guides stability, strategy, and trust. Now here I have an example of a balance sheet, so let's go through it. First, we have current assets. These are resources expected to convert into cash within a year, listed in orderly or equity. So here we can see that cash is given up to 50,000 and account receivables, which is 75,000. So money owed by the company or by the customers is called account receivables. Then we have inventory worth of 1 lakh, which is goods available for sale or even the raw material. And also it includes prepaid expenses, which is costing us 15,000, and the total current assets comes up to 2,40,000. Next, we have non-current assets. These provide benefits beyond 1 year. Property, plant, and equipment were originally worth 5 lakh. After subtracting accumulated depreciation, which is of 1,50,000, their net book value is 3,50,000. Remember, this is book value, not market value. Then we have intangible assets, where things like patents, trademarks, and goodwill are involved, which is around 80,000. And also long-term investment, which is 1,20,000, which is stocks, bonds held for more than 1 year. So the total of non-current assets comes up to 5,50,000. Moving on to liabilities, these are what the company owes. So firstly, for that, we have accounts payable, which is of 45,000. And here it is mentioned it's the money owed to the suppliers and vendors. And we have short-term debt, which includes 25,000, which is loan, credit, faculties due within 1 year. And we also have accrued expenses, which is 20,000, which includes wages, utilities, taxes owed but not yet paid. So the total current liabilities sums up to 90,000. Next, we have non-current liabilities. Non-current liabilities are long-term obligations, so which includes long-term debt, which is around 3 lakh, which includes bank loans, bonds, mortgages due after 1 year. And then we have deferred tax liabilities, which is 50,000, which is basically future taxes the company expects to pay. Next, we have shareholders' equity. This represents the owner's claim after all the debts are settled. So we have a share capital of 2 lakh, which is the money invested by the shareholder in exchange for stock. And we have retained earnings, which is of 1,50,000, which is profit kept in the business instead of paying the dividends. And the total shareholders' equity will sum up to 3,50,000. Total liabilities and equity will sum up to 7,90,000. Together, equity shows what owners would theoretically receive if the company were liquidified. Now let's analyze the company's liquidity, how easily it can meet short-term obligations. First, we have current ratio, which is 2,40,000 divided by 90,000, which leaves up to 2.67. A strong ratio above 2 means the company can easily cover its short-term debts. Next, we have quick ratio, which is the difference between 2,40,000 minus 1 lakh divided by 90,000, which is equal to 1.56. This excludes inventory and still shows excellent liquidity. Then we are calculating working capital, which is 1,50,000. A positive buffer is always a healthy sign. Next is capital structure, the mix of debt and equity financing. We have debt to equity ratio, which is 4,40,000 divided by 3,50,000, which is sum up to 1.26. This means the company has slightly more debt than equity, but it's still moderate. And next we have equity ratio, which is 3,50,000 divided by 7,90,000, which is equal to 44%. This shows a reasonable ownership stake compared to total assets. Next we have asset composition. First, we have current assets, which is 30% of the total assets. That's a good liquidity position. Next, we have fixed assets, which is up to 44%, which shows a strong investment in productivity capital. Asset composition also gives us idea of how efficient the company can use these resources to generate the revenue. Now, we have to consider what balance sheet doesn't show. It doesn't show market values, it uses historical costs, further earning potential, off-balance sheet commitments, and also intangible values like employees or skills or company reputation will not be mentioned in the balance sheet. This structure gives us clear logical way to understand every part of the balance sheet. It's just not numbers but a story of how the company manages its resources, obligations and ownership. So that's a wrap on this course. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to Simplilearn. Thank you for watching and keep learning with Simplilearn. Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to Simplilearn's YouTube channel and click here for similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, you can check the description box below.